do is I'll load up the FMC to let the aircraft know our flight plan. So I'll plan it all in. What I'm going to get you to do is basically just set up your mode control panel. So starting from the course. Now, what's the? Do you remember the ILS heading for the 16 arrival into Wellington? Do you remember it at all?
Is it one? I know the heading's 161.
Yep, correct. So you want to set 161 up on your course, being the runway heading. I'll set up Auckland International Airport on our flight management system as our position.
IAS is
indicated
145?
No, it'll be different this time. We usually use 5 ton on your training, but we're using 8 ton because we've got to go an extra flight time. What I'll do, I'll just load up the plan first. I'll probably get the takeoff speed on the last sector on our computer, but you can set your altitude actually. Set your heading to 160 because that's the flight path heading. And I'll put November Zulu Whiskey November as Wellington, runway 5 right departure, runway 16 arrival. Activate execute, and gross weight is 65.5 tonnes, 2 in the reserves, cost index is 100, so we've got reserves this time. Cool. Run low on fuel. Cruising altitude is 30,000 feet, which is also flight level 300, and your wind speed and direction is 340 degrees at 5 knots, gusts to 10 knots, so you've got your wind speed and direction at the top of the compass. Cool. Okay, and your takeoff flap setting is going to be 5-degree flaps using a V1 of 136, a VR 138, V2 of 148. So
136.
So 136 is a safety decision speed. Hopefully the engines will still be running at that speed. Cool. VR is when you pull back. V2 is 148. So if you can set 148 up on your airspeed. And cruise speed is 340 knots. Okay, can you set your heading? Actually, set it to 150. Yeah, that's it, and set the altitude to 30,000 feet as well. Okay, what I'll do, I'll get the ADFs and NDBs, the ADFs set up for the flight. So at 234 set on active, which is TTA Bay. 112.3 is set on active for the VOR at Wellington Airport. Okay, so once you're airborne, you should see a little green arrow sort of moving around, showing us where Wellington Airport is with the DME on the side there, or on that side. Okay, what we're going to do now, we'll get this baby started now. We're at the gate, so I'm going to get you to switch everything on. So starting from your side, if you want to turn on your damper and your fuel pumps. Okay, we don't worry about the lights because we're at the gate. Where's your galley and your cooling systems? No, the APUs, yeah, that's it. Okay, excellent, and just give one more flick down for your no smoking. Okay. Perfect. Well done. Okay, now before we start the engines, yeah, flick all 6 switches all on. Okay, got the fans going, and turn on your air trim air temp, and turn on anti-collision light. Yep, and turn that. Yep, flick all those 2 as well. Okay, now we're going to push back. So what we could do here is we can turn our taxi light on. Okay, so we've got part of the front illuminated. Also check that the auto brake up there is set to perfect RTO. Okay, what we need to do here is make sure the flaps are up, speed brake's down at a 10. Your transponder, which is down here, we'll turn it on to TARA once we're on the runway. Okay, now, where you put the checklists, mate? Are they down there? Oh yeah. Okay, what we could do here is we'll use the checklists. Cool. Okay, well, did you, is it big A4 piece of paper?
Down this one.
Oh, down there. Oh, right. Okay, that's cool. Okay, what we're going to do here, I'm going to get you to read through, I'll read through the switches, and then I'm just going to make sure that they're on and whatnot, okay? Cool. So you just call out if they're on or off or set. Okay, so the navigation, transfer, and display switches
are on.
Okay, yep. So basically we always make sure they're normal and on auto. Okay, your damper
is on.
And window heat.
That's on.
And your flight instruments. Now basically what we do here is we check that the that your heading, which is up here, is identical to your flight path which you've set up on your HSI, so 150, so those 2 have intercepted each other. Okay, your altimeters. Now the altimeter, we check that we've got 1013 HP at the bottom of the column. Yep. So if I have 1015, I'm going to have 100 feet and you're going to have 20 feet. So always make sure that they're both ready in the same QNH.
Cool.
Okay, and the parking brake
is armed.
Yep. Set. Yep. So armed is sort of what we use for this one. So yeah, parking brake on and set.
Cool.
Okay, that's cool. Engine start levers.
They're on cutoff.
Excellent. Okay. Alright, so that's your pre-flight checks complete, and the before start checks, which we're going to do before we push back. We'll do this real quickly. The flight deck door, which is just behind us. Okay, that's closed and locked. Now your fuel pumps.
They're on.
Okay, cool. And how much fuel do we have on board roughly? Got about 8 ton of fuel on board. So we've got our fuel gauge is showing us about. Yeah, you don't have to calculate. But basically those two gauges added together plus that gauge up there added to those two equals about 8 ton of fuel for the flight. Also make sure your windows are locked. We just basically tap on the windows nice and gently. Okay, your mode control panel, which is up here, make sure we've got the V2 up on the speed. So we make sure that V2. See, I've got V2 140
148.
148. You got 148 set. Okay, and your heading, basically just make sure that heading's set. So, and your altitude as well. So flight level 300. In real life, what they'll often do is if they plan a flight, they'll often have a chart of where they're actually going to. They don't actually go straight up to the altitude. They'll actually go it's like steps that they'll follow to each altitude. Okay, takeoff speeds V1, VR and V2 are set. Trim, I'll set that for takeoff for you. We'll use about 8 units, and taxi and takeoff briefing. Basically we're going to taxi to runway 5 right, the longest runway in the book, and we're going to take off, head towards the north, do a U-turn, follow your flight path over, fly towards the airport, towards Wellington Airport. Alright? Okay, let's get this baby started. So what I'm going to get you to do here is release your parking brake. So push it forward. That's it. Perfect. Now you're going to start the engine on my side first. Okay, and then you push that switch in nice and gently. I want you to push this red button now. Just push it nice and gently. That's it. Excellent. And you want to push the left rudder all the way forward and grab fuel lever number 2. Okay, waiting for that to reach 20%. We're backing out at the same time.
Welcome aboard Wilkie Airline. I am Captain Wilkie and this is First Officer Brown. We are now heading towards Wellington Airport. Very shortly we will be flying to an altitude of 30,000 feet, climbing through a few clouds, and we will be heading into Wellington very soon. At the moment, Shelley and the crew are going through the safety checks, and we hope you enjoy your flight. Welcome aboard Wilkie Airlines.
Excellent. Climbing through a few clouds. That was nicely done, mate. Excellent. Okay, you got engine number 2 started. Now, basically, we're just backing straight. Just leave it in the off for now. What we'll do, just relax the feet and push this red button. Push this one nice and gently, because once we push back and we're just going straight back, we just got to stop the plane line backwards. Okay. Now, before you start the left engine, turn the parking brake on, and yeah, now you can go for the engine start switch. So just flick it, push it in. Yep, that's it. Okay, I'm just going to turn my light down. Just keep your just keep your light up a little bit, just so the DVD doesn't. Yeah, that's it. Okay, so what we want to do now is just keep an eye on, make sure that the N2 reaches 20. Okay, cool. Just going to do a recall check so we don't forget anything. Cool, excellent. Now what we need to do is make sure the EGT rises to 600. Okay, and you can flick that one over to continuous. Now you don't have to push it in, you just got to flick it to the right like that. That's it. Make sure the ignition is on both, and the 2 outside APU switches, if you flick them both down to get a blue light in your centre. That's it. And if you want to turn the APU middle switch bleed off, flick it off, and turn on those 2 outside. That's it. Excellent. Okay, what we're going to do now is we'll taxi out to runway 5, which is out over there, over my side. As we taxi, we'll do a few checks to make sure we're prepared for the flight. So can you release your parking brake, and then I'm going to get you to put your right hand on top of the thrust levers. Okay, now turn right a bit more towards me. That's it, and just hold it maybe a little bit more to the right. There's the eye line just over here. Okay, relax the feet. What we'll do is we'll just follow the yellow line to the gate. Now, to the runway. Now, are you familiar with the toe brakes on this aircraft?
Yeah.
Okay, I want you to try and that's it. Use your toe brakes and you don't want to hold them down, for a long period of time, or else you're going to come to a complete stop. Basically, what we're doing here is we're just going to follow the yellow line. Then we're going to do a left-hand turn. Then we're going to do a right-hand turn. Release the toe brakes there, so you're rolling forward down the taxiway. Okay. Now she's going to veer left, so you can follow your line to the left, and then relax the feet and go right again. Okay, we'll take the thrust levers back a bit here because we're coming in pretty fast. We're at 15 knots on the ground. Okay, use your right rudder, veer yourself to the right. We're on the left-hand runway. We're going to taxi right to the end, go onto the other runway on the other side. We're going to follow that aircraft over there.
Sweet.
Okay, so we'll use a bit more thrust. Now try not to have your toes on the toe brakes for too long, or else you're going to find yourself not going anywhere. Okay, my course is set to 161. Okay. Feels good to get used to the rudders after a while, isn't it? So what do you reckon of the lighting in the night time and all that kind of...
Very cool.
Okay, now because the engines are quite powerful, so cut your power right off. You remember, we want to keep the ground speed at about 20 knots on the runway. We're at 23, but she's going to slow down eventually. Now, before we taxi to the runway on our left, what I want you to do here is set your flaps to 5 degrees for takeoff. Terrific. Okay. Okay.
Cabin crew, please be prepared for takeoff.
Alright, okay, everything looks set. Just make sure your stab trim's on normal. Stab trim's on normal. APU, no fire warning. All 3 green on the 1 and 2. Fire extinguishers are set. Autopilots are disengaged. Okay, add a little bit more thrust here. We'll go a little bit faster here. Okay, can you see the yellow dotted lines?
Just in front of us?
Yeah, just in front of us. That's the outlet. Okay, and we can use the flight directors for your departure as well if you want. Okay, take the power off now. That's it, and just gradually start a left-hand turn towards you now. Okay, there's your yellow line, so we'll just follow it onto the taxiway and lining up ourselves on the runway. What we'll do is we'll line ourselves up, and then we'll do the control checks and go from there. I'll just go through the before takeoff checks. Okay, generators are on, probes are on, anti-ice systems are on. Okay, isolation valves on auto, set. Okay, use a bit more thrust. Basically just try and line yourself up the runway now. Okay, continuous recall checked. Auto brakes on RTO, engine start levers are idle to tent. Okay, see how the yellow line's coming, swerving left. Give the left rudder a good push forward. Okay, that's it, nicely done. Now, just slowly release the rudder pedals. Now, this is the tricky part. Use a bit more thrust. Keep moving yourself forward. We need to try and line yourself up onto the designator, which is where number 5 is. That's your runway. This is your threshold, the piano keys. Cool. This is your runway designator, which are the numbers here. Runway 5 right. So what we want to do here, now careful, remember you don't overshoot the line before you do so keep the line on your windscreen and then just do a shallow left hand turn. That's it. Maybe that was a bit too early, but that's alright. We'll fix it up as we roll down the runway. Okay, nicely done. Now I want you to turn on your landing lights. And we'll turn off the taxi light. That's it, so it's easy to see the runway. Use your parking brake, just pull it back nice and gently. Turn your transponder on to TARA. Okay, and isolation valve is open, auto, and I'm going to get you to do the control column check. So we want to make sure they're full and free of movement. So you want to just ease back on the control column first. That's it, nicely done, and all the way forward. Perfect, now you want to go full left aileron and full right aileron. And do the same with your rudder pedals as well, so push the left all the way forward. Yep, that's it, and do the same with the right.
And full right.
Beautiful. Okay. And we're all set for takeoff. Alright, when you're ready, Carlos, I want you to release your parking brake. Yep, so when you're ready, push it forward. I'm going to turn the flight director on. Okay, I'm going to get you to spool your engines up to, what kind of power do you reckon we might need to use?
80%.
And not quite.
Full power.
When we spool up the engines, what kind of power?
60%.
Not quite 60, that's cruise power. It's 40%.
40%.
Yeah, 40%, yep. Alright, so use about 40% of your power. Fantastic, okay. And if you want to turn your light down, you can. Excellent, and then when you're ready, Carlos, mate, go for full thrust. She's all yours. As you push the thrust levers all the way forward, use your left rudder to keep yourself lined up on the runway. That's it. Okay, use a bit of right rudder here. Use a bit more right rudder. Use a bit more right rudder. That's it. You've got a 5-knot wind blowing this way, so she might want to swerve left a little bit on takeoff. Okay, you're at 90 knots. 100, 110, 120. 130, V1, rotate. Excellent. Nose up to the 15-degree line this time, so it's the next line up. And positive rate of climb, so put your wheels up. So, yeah, that's it. Excellent. Nicely done. Okay, now we just want to bounce it. We want to bounce the plane on the 15. That way your speed increases. Okay, your landing gear is up, so I'll turn that off. If you want to switch the auto brake to the off position. Okay, and when you're ready, start your right-hand turn and basically guide your plane, guide your aircraft along the pink line. Okay, you're at 3,000 feet, your speed's at 220. I'm going to put your flaps up to 2 degrees. Nice turn. Okay, at 4,000 feet, flaps are going to 1 degree. Okay, once you're at 10,000 feet, lower the nose onto the 10. So just keep the nose up in that attitude, pull back on the column a little bit. And I'm putting your flaps up now. Okay, put your right hand on top of the thrust levers and bring your power back to about 80%. Excellent, about there. And now what you want to do here is very slowly do a left-hand turn, and we're going to line you up with the flight path. Beautiful. Okay, what do you notice happening with the nose at the moment? That's it. Okay, keep the left-hand turn going because your flight path is going that way. And push the nose down so you've got the horizon in your sight. You've actually got a tailwind here, so I might just use a bit of thrust here to keep the speed up. So we're at 225 knots here, we should be at 250. Your speed's dropping quite a bit, so I'm just going to use a bit of thrust here. Now lift the nose back up. Because your tailwind has hit you, you're going to find the nose is going to want to drop. Okay, what I want you to do here is use your instruments now because you're above cloud. You want to use your instruments and guide your plane with the. See how you sort of like this with the flight path?
Yep. Okay,
you want to turn left towards you, make your heading 150 to line yourself up. Okay, relax the controls there. That's it. So it's only a gentle turn. When you're only going to make a small correction like that, it's only a little tiny turn that you've got to do. Okay, now you're on a heading of 165, so I want you to slowly turn right to level out. Okay, that's it. Now you're at 10,000 feet, so you can lower the nose of the aircraft. Relax. That's it. Lower the nose of the aircraft. Maintain 280 knots in the climb. So can you set just set 250 on your airspeed? Okay. Actually set your heading to 160 now, because that's actually the heading of your flight path. And because you're at 11,000 feet, below 10,000 feet we turn our lights on, but we're above, so can you turn off your four landing lights? Okay, looking good. Okay, do you know where to look for the distance from, do you know where to look for the distance to the airport? I bet I haven't shown you this yet. Okay, it's up here. It's 247 miles out. That's Wellington runway 16. And what you'll probably learn in your training is we use UTC, Coordinated Universal Time. So whenever you see that, it says 7 p.m. That's at the London time.
Yeah. That's
actually 7:05 in the morning, roughly speaking. Cool. So we're going to arrive Wellington Airport at 7 o'clock. Okay. Now you're at 13,000 feet. Now what we'll do here, now you've got a bit of wind shear. Can you see how the screen's sort of moving side to side? Yeah, that's because you've got bad wind shear in this vicinity. So I want you to put your right hand on top of the thrust levers, start lowering your nose, because the speed's dropping now, and lower your nose onto the 5 degree line. Now see how the screen just moved to the right? Yep. Okay, what I want you to try to do here, just to keep your plane under control. Now watch your nose. You're flying very slow and you're actually descending just a little bit. Lift the nose back up a little. That's it. Add a bit more thrust. Bring your speed up, because you're flying very slow at the moment. You're at 230 knots. We're trying to get the speed up to 280. Okay, keep your nose on the small line where it's on now. That's it. So you might have to start pushing the column forward very gently. That's it, to hold it there. That's it. Now see how you've got quite a bit of power on, but see how the speed is very slowly increasing. Yeah, it is. To increase the speed faster, you need to lower all you need to do is lower your nose, and that's going to cause you to fly faster. And then once you're flying faster and you pitch your nose up again, your aircraft is going to climb faster at the same time. So lower the nose just a little bit more. Okay, that's it. And what we want to do is bring the speed up to 280. So if you want to set your speed to 280. Okay, we're passing through 250, looking good. See the wind shear there?
Yeah, big one too.
Surely is. What's going to happen is whenever you see that, if you ever see the screen move, if you see that happen, you're going to immediately use your rudder to counteract it. So if it pushes you left, you got to use the right rudder. Yeah. Okay, lower your nose a little. Yeah, that's it. We probably want to try and fly a bit faster as well, so it doesn't affect us too much. There we go. So we use a bit left. I'll use the rudders here just to make it look pretty. Okay, you're at 18,000 feet. Use a bit more thrust actually. Yeah, that's better. You're still at 237, so we need to really build up the speed. You're at 25. You've got a 25 knot tailwind now. Okay, and I'm just trimming the nose down so you're actually, as you hold the column, your nose doesn't suddenly pitch up. Do you have any questions with this one, or?
No, everything's going good so far.
You reckon? Can't see any birds in the vicinity?
Not in the second.
That's right. You might see some in Wellington. You won't know until you find out. Okay, now this is something I'll better show you. If I zoom out, you'll see there's a little green bar just over there.
Yep.
Okay, that green bar actually indicates where you're going to be at 30,000 feet. Okay. Now what happens is if you lower the nose, it's going to take you longer to get to 30,000 feet. See the TC just up there? Oh, yep. That's top of climb. Cool. So what we can do here is, if you lower the nose, we need to bring your speed up because you're flying very slow at the moment. You're at 250. If you lower that nose, that green arc, you can see the green arc is slowly moving out. Yeah. If you can balance that green arc just around the top of climb, we should be able to pick the speed up, and that's where we're going to be at 30,000 feet. That's it. You'll probably find it's quite sensitive as well. As you can see, just minor adjustments. Now, just careful that your aircraft doesn't bank a little bit to the right, so get rid of the white dotted line in front of your plane. That's it. Terrific. Okay. Now, if the green arc moves closer and closer, just ease the column forward a bit more. That's it. And what we can do here as well is we can, if you want to use your flight directors, you'll see a little pink cross on the artificial horizon. If you want to use it, you can. What I'm going to do is I'm going to Can I get you to? I want you to put the flight directors on my screen. So can you press your LNAV switch and your alt hold switch? Excellent. Now what's going to happen, now you can see up that there's a little the boxes up the top here. Yep. You've got LNAV, which is lateral navigation for your flight path, and altitude hold. Now don't worry about, actually I'll just set that to VS. Okay, what I'm going to get you to do here, I'm going to get you to throw your flight directors on. I think I should show you this, just so you got it out. Okay, so if you flick that switch up, that's it. See the little pink cross on your horizon? Yes. Okay. The vertical line is your flight path. The horizontal line is the pitching of the aircraft. Okay. Now what you want to do here, see where the two pink lines intercept each other? Yep. You want to keep the nose of the aircraft balanced exactly where the two intercept. So you want to turn left a little bit towards you, because the vertical line shows that your flight path is just to the left. Okay, now just watch your nose as you do this. Okay, see how the nose is slowly pitching up? Yeah, so you just want to lower the nose a little bit more. Remember, like, controls are going to be quite sensitive. Now, do you want to use the auto? We're above 20,000 feet. Do you want to use the autopilot for a few minutes? Or
yeah, I'll give it a go.
Give it a go. All right, then. What I want you to do here is press the autopilot command button. Yep, fantastic. And you release the controls. Just let the aircraft do its thing. In fact, what I'll do is I'll set okay, I'll set 340 target speed 340 set. Okay, basically all you've done here is you've enabled autopilot, LNAV, which is your flight path, and VS, which is vertical speed. Cool. So it's locked on 1,000 feet per minute, which I've set up on here. Oh, yep. Okay, so it's picked up the vertical speed, and basically that's balanced that green arc on the top of climb as well. Yeah, and that's it. Okay, so you sort of you learn to play around with it. Also, we're going to try and keep the plane at 340. You can use the auto throttles if you want. So what I'll get you to do anyway is set your speed to 340 knots. I'm just going to try use the VNAV, see what happens. Okay, that's alright. Okay, what you can do here is you can use your auto throttle. Just flick that little switch up and make sure and reset that to 340. Okay, basically we want the aircraft to register that speed. Now the throttle's going to slowly move forward. Oh. Okay. Welcome to commercial flying, my friend. And what's going to happen is the aircraft. Hey? Wait till you come into land. What we can do if you want for landing is we can use the autopilot and we can lock on the ILS approach, show you how it works. Well, basically it follows the glide slope and the localizer. Then you can disengage at the last second and try and land it yourself. If you want to do it that way, you can. If not, you want to do it manually, that's perfectly fine. It's up to you, mate. What's going to happen is your aircraft is going to. There we go. We've got the VOR locked. The little green arrow. Right. Okay, we're about 195 miles away from Wellington Airport. Now, this aircraft is trying to chew chunks of speed to keep to fly at 340 knots, but we can see the little pink arrow for the airspeeds in the red as well, right at the top of the airspeed column. Yeah. What we might need to do is cruise at 320 knots, which I'll set up on the cruise page on our FMC. Okay, now that you're at 28,800 feet, what you can do is reduce the rate of this climb by just slowly winding that switch up, which is going to bring the rate of descent down to 800 feet. Yep, perfect. Because we're at 29,000 feet, so we don't have to. Cool. And then once we're at 29,500, then we can set that to 500, which is going to keep us climbing at 500 feet. So just wait for your altitude to hit 500 feet. That way, because you don't want your nose pitched up too high, and then it's going to do this as it levels out. Okay, yeah, you can set it now if you want. And see how the throttles are remaining the same, but look at the speed. See how the speed slowly increases? That's what the nose controls.
Nice fun day for flying at the moment.
Yeah, surely is. I think Wellington's going to treat you pretty well once you arrive. You should have worn a white top, mate. Basically, okay, the aircraft is picked up. We're only about 50 feet below the cruising altitude. So once it gets a signal, you can see the VS is gone.
Yes, it is.
And it's going to level out at that altitude, and your speed's going to slowly increase. What we'll do is we'll try and keep the airspeed within the yellow range, because if we're in the red range, we're over speed.
Cool.
So do you want to set your speed down to 320?
Would this be the time to get a cup of tea?
Yep. If you've got
Shelly, can I please have a white with 2 sugars?
I'll just stick to a beer. You get one of your mates from McDonald's or something to respond to that. Your Plymouth's just over there.
Right.
And Lake Taupo is actually to our left. You can actually see by looking at the blue circles on your HSI, that's all the airports. Yeah.
Taupo.
Nope.
Oh. Rotorua?
That's Rotorua. I think the one below it's Tokoroa. No, I think the one above it.
Oh, we're going down now.
No, yeah, that's showing us that's south and that's north. So, yeah. So November Zulu Alpha Papa, NZAP. Cool. That's Taupo. That's Taupo there.
Oh.
And that's New Plymouth over there.
Taupo, New Plymouth.
And what you do here, if you use this little grey switch, if you just wind that one stage around, there's more airports. So you're zooming out, basically.
Okay.
And you can see more airports. So you can see Wanganui, Ohakia, Palmerston North and Masterton. No, Masterton's over here.
Yep.
Paparam. And if we zoom out one more, there's your airport.
Oh, cool.
Yep. And you can also, you've got different modes up here. What we usually do with this one is I'll do it on my side. It's the same thing. Basically, we can choose a flight plan. So you've actually got a lovely spitting image of your aircraft flying that flight path.
Yep.
And you can also flick. So basically, you can get different modes. So you can use center, which gives you this.
Yeah.
VOR, which is tracking this down.
Oh, yep.
And on the approach, sometimes what we tend to do, rather than when you come in for a landing and you use this one, we can actually use this one.
Oh, okay.
And basically this little pink bar here in the centre, as long as we've got that fully pink, and then the middle means we're actually nicely lined up. That's VOR. So basically you'll be using the approach, which is another one across when you come in. But we don't have the frequency for it tuned into the nav. That's why it's got the mode. It disagrees. So that's controlled by this, and centre just gives you a nice image of the aircraft and everything else with it. What we do here also is the flight computer. We've got when you do your flying from now on, you always have this page up.
Okay.
So what you first of all you do is you see ident, which is identification. It's on the top left hand side. Yep. What we do, if you press that, basically it gives you all this information about the aircraft, like the model, 737, nav data, type of engines, when it was last activated, and type of program. Now this ain't relevant, so if you press the position initialize, when you fly different airports, when you come in here for solo flying, basically you'll use the reference airport and you'll Don't press it though, because it's going to change your position. But what happens is you press reference airport, and it automatically locks in that airport that you
at the moment, which is Auckland Airport.
Yep. We don't have to set that to Wellington either, because that's always the departure airport. And then once you've done that, you automatically go to this and you press that, and that's going to automatically set your position by
that's
degree.
The IRS position. Yep.
Yeah, and you can see that's changed anyway. But this is always when you're at the gate or sitting on the end of the runway, you always go reference airport, IRS position, and then that's your position set.
Cool.
And then when you go to route, if you press route, you can see here that what we've got is the origin, which is your departure.
Auckland.
Yep. And destination on
Wellington.
the right. Sometimes, if we're lucky, if you're doing a flight from Wellington to Christchurch or Auckland, or Christchurch to Wellington, you can actually go company route, and it's got a list of all the different sectors you can fly.
Okay.
If it's from Auckland to somewhere else, it won't have it, because not many clients like to do that.
Yeah.
So sometimes what we're going to do is, if we can't get the company route, we just punch in the ID for the airport of our destination, chuck it up here, and then we can choose whatever runway we want to use.
Cool.
So, yeah.
We've departed off runway 5 and we're heading to runway 16.
Correct. Yep. That's the one. And then I'm not going to go to the next page because it's going to change our flight plan. So we'll confirm. So if you go back to index. Excellent. Now you got here. Yeah. So that's position, performance initialized. So you've got your the gross weights, which is active anyway.
Yeah.
The gross weight is the total weight of the aircraft.
63.3 tonne.
That's the one, and that's going to start counting down anyway. Your fuel burn, 5.9, zero fuel weight, and your reserves, and then your cost index, which is the economy load.
Oh, okay.
And then you've got the cruise altitude up the top right.
Yep.
Now, if you're doing circuits, you know when you say 4,000 feet?
Yeah.
You only need to punch in 4 and then 0.
Oh.
If it's anything below 10,000 feet, you only got to punch in 2 digits. The first one and then the second one, like 50 for 5,000, 30, 3,000.
And if it's above that, you got to push 3, right?
That's correct, yeah.
300 for 30,000.
And what 200 mean?
2,000? 20,000?
Yep. And even 270 would be 27,000 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how it's done. Then you've got the cruise wind, which is reality is 250, but I always put the departure cruise wind, just for the sake of it. And then you've got all the temperatures and stuff, because temperature can have a huge influence on your flight.
Yeah.
And then we can use auto throttle for this one. What else we got? We got takeoff.
Cool. Flaps on 5 degrees.
Yep.
VR of 138. V2 of 148.
Yep. So
gross weight tonne is 63.3 kgs.
Oh yeah. Yeah, gross weight total kgs
total.
63 point. Yeah. Yeah, so 5 degree flaps. If we're using automatic throttle for takeoff, we set the percentage. See how it says N1? Yep. At the top. So 98.6. We can change it to whatever we want. We can change it to 100, 98, 99, 97.5, whatever, and it's going to register up here. Cool. And then when you activate that, you press the 2 little black switches in here. The auto throttles are automatically going to move forward and register up on the gauges what you've set up.
What these 2 are?
Yep, that's your toga switches. And then different speeds, of course. And then if we go approach, this is quite important. This is quite interesting as well. So you've got different flap settings. Yep. Different speeds with the flaps. What do you notice? What do you notice with the flaps and the speeds on that thing?
133 knots. We need to have 40 degree flaps.
Yep.
And VR of 148 knots. We need to have 15 degree flaps.
Did you say VR?
VRF.
VRE, yeah, that's AF. VRF, yeah. If you say VR, that's your rotation. So you'd be worried if your captain asked you that. Yeah. So 15. Basically, also you find that you've got different flaps. So you got 15 for 148, 30 for 141, 40, 133. You also find the more flaps you use, the lower the speeds are, eh?
Yeah, they are. Because of the more drag.
More drag, the more lift. Yeah. So the less flap you use, the more lift, but then if you want to slow your plane right, with Wellington Airport you want to slow the plane right down, so it does pay to use 40 flaps, and that's going to cause a lot of drag. We're actually almost at top of descent, we need to start descending, so I want you to bring your speed down to 300 first. Actually, bring it down to 280. because once we start descending, she descends like there's no tomorrow, and set the altitude to 20,000 feet. Okay, that's it. And I want you to now wind set VS, press that, and just wind it down gently to make it 1,000. No, the other way. Yep, that's it. Set that to about 1,500 feet per minute. Yeah. Terrific. Okay. Because we're about 103 nautical miles away, what we want to do, if we're at 30,000 feet, to know our descent, if we don't have that, what we can do, without top of descent on the thing, what we can do is we can multiply 30 by 3, which gives us 90, okay? And then basically, at 90 miles, we start descent from 30,000 feet. It's a 3 to 1 rule. So,
yeah, I get it.
So if you're at 20,000 feet, and you want to start your descent, what distance do you want to be away from the airport to start your descent? Take your time as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure this one out.
You got to know this, mate, is your maths. This is
20,000. It'd be...
If you're 20,000 feet, you multiply 20 by 3.
60 nautical miles?
Correct, yeah. I think you got to add another 10 or 22 on top of that, so you don't overshoot as you come in. Yeah. So basically, what we're going to try and do, this is good practice. You can also, if we set, and we're not going to, but if we did set that to 1,000 feet, we would actually know exactly where we would be with that green arc. Now, if we set that to 1,000 and that green arc was way over here, in front of the, behind the airport, means that we're going to overshoot the airport. If that green arc is that green arc moves closer to the airport, if it's basically sitting sort of just on the verge of that, that's fine, because we're going to be 1,000 feet before the runway.
Oh, cool.
So it just sort of comes in practice. Also with this approach page, what you'll find is you've got down near the bottom, you can see it says ILS 16.
Yes.
Also has a frequency for that as well. See how it says 110.30?
110.30, yep, I can see that.
Yep, now what's going to happen is we're going to use that frequency, which is going to give us some signals to guide our plane down onto the runway.
So no matter which airport we go to, it will always come up with ILS.
Depends on what airport. If it's an major international airport, it will come up, but airports, Christchurch, Auckland, Wellington have them. Airports like Masterton, Paparam don't have them. They're all VORs. What we need to do here, we've got the VOR set for our arrival, but we need to set the ILS as well, just for the safe. So basically, the bottom knob here controls the first 3. The top knob controls the last 2. What I want you to do is tune that to 110.30. Cool, and that's all to it. Bring your speed down to 250 actually, because we're coming in pretty fast here.
So we've just gone over Wanganui, or just going past Wanganui?
Yeah, just overshooting it now.
And we're heading down the west of the North Island?
Yep, so western North Island, you've got Paparam, which is actually straight ahead of us, below the cloud. Actually, set your altitude to 10,000, mate. Okay. And set your VS to 1,800 feet per minute as well. Yep. We're just going to increase this rate of descent because we're actually coming in pretty high. Yeah, I just want to bring that green arc a bit closer to us, so by the time we hit 10,000 feet, because we are going to be quite close to that, that's actually 30 miles, that's with about 20-30 miles along that approach line, but we best just to make sure I'd rather come in too low than too high.
And in 75 miles time we'll hit Wellington Airport.
Exactly, so you want to sort of just, like, you don't want to use your speed brake and really have the passengers choke up the McDonald's from lunch or anything like that, you know, so you want to kind of ease it as you descend.
And so what's FF?
Oh, fuel flow. Yep.
And VIB?
Vibration in the engine. Yep. What's QTY?
Quantity. Oil quantity.
You sure? Just kidding with you, mate. I don't know. What about oil temp?
The temperature of the oil at the moment?
Yep. EGT?
Is the engine...
Nope. I'll give you a hint. It's still with temperature.
Electronic.
Not quite. It's your exhaust gas temperature. I don't know if I've told you that either.
No.
Nah, probably not. Basically, yeah, exhaust gas temperature is the heat pressure inside the compressors. So we make it doesn't matter if it goes into the orange during your flight, but as long as it doesn't do it during startup, because you've always got to try and keep a good ratio of your fuel in your air, so you don't burn anything on your startup. Basically, what we're going to do here is we're going to make sure that we are approaching 5,000 feet by the time we get a cap of the island, which is that little island just over there.
And now I've decided to bring the plane and land manually.
You have you?
Yeah.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm positive.
Okay, what altitude do you want to disengage your autopilot?
Normal cruising speed we usually go at was about 4,000.
Oh, you want to disengage at 4,000, do you?
Yeah, I'll go to try.
Alright then, no worries. Okay, what we need to do here is bring your speeds are at 250. What are we, 20,000 feet? We might have to do a holding pattern here. In that case, set your altitude to 4,000 feet. Okay, we're still going to be in front of, still going to be good height from the airport. So the green arc's sort of halfway between the airport and the beginning of the approach line, as you can see.
Yep.
That's alright. Actually, what I'll do here, I'm just going to take control for a sec. Just going to bring your speed back. I'm going to touch the speed brake a little bit, just to reduce our speed. Often your passengers won't feel this, but it does take quite a bit of an effect out the front. You can actually really see the nose pitch up at times.
Yeah, you can usually see it on the if you're sitting right by the wing as well. You can see the free brake slowly go up a little bit.
See, I'm a real airline pilot. I'm doing exactly the same thing. I've actually I was in the jump seat and the guys were doing the same. The co-pilot, the first officer, had to reach right over. I thought I was distracting them because I was talking to them constantly, so they were coming in pretty high. Whenever they come in pretty high and you're talking to them, you feel like you have distracted them from their work, but in fact it's just the speed of the aircraft, which is why you've got to overcome it with using your speed brake. Okay, I'm bringing the speed down to 263. Okay, what are we now? 55 miles out. Gonna put your speed brake down. Okay, let's go through the checks here. Okay, I want to call the checks out. I want you to do the recall. So can I get you to check? Do you remember what your recall is? It's this little tab here.
Oh, yep.
Yep. No, the black one. Oh, yeah, that's it. Okay, no lights illuminated. That's cool. Set your auto brake. What do we usually set that to?
To 3. Full stop landing.
Beautiful. And landing data. We go, if you want to press 133. Sorry, up here. Yep. Okay, and then press the flap speed just below it. Excellent. So that's confirming our landing speed. Okay, approach briefing. It's just going to be a straight in. Cool. Straight into 16. Altimeters are set to 1013 HPA. Okay. That's your descent and approach checks complete. Now, what's going to happen here? Yep, turn your passenger signs on. Okay, we're about 48 miles out. Okay, I'm going to... Actually, I'll get you to arm your speed brake. Just pull it up gently and bring it back a little bit. Yep, perfect, about there. Okay. Using your speed brake again just to bring that arc a bit closer. Okay, here we go. She's taking her sweet time. This is looking good. Basically, I just want to try and do this carefully. Just don't want to muck anything up here, that's all. Okay, what we'll do, you can see how nicely you're actually going to intercept the approach line.
Yes.
The pink flight path actually, it just takes you to the airport. It doesn't line you up on the runway.
Cool.
But the way the runways have been made is that you'll find that if you set just a straight path up to Auckland, you'll find yourself you're actually going to the airport. And it's not gonna guide you onto the runway unless you set up waypoints to line you up. It's going to leave the speed brake in that position for now, because we're actually we're progressing pretty well here. Where are we now? 40 miles out. Okay. What we'll do here is we'll just confirm. You basically just want to make sure your nav system's all set. So we always make sure we've got 1103 on standby. And then once we're within about 20 miles from the airport, what we tend to do is we tend to transfer the frequencies over like that.
Oh, cool.
Okay, like that, and that's basically going to get those two pink diamonds on either side. Have you noticed them? Yeah.
I've seen the little ones down here.
Basically, you'll find a pink diamond up here.
Yeah, I've seen them around here somewhere.
One down the bottom of the horizon. They're never up the side of the airspeed column. I'll show you once we come in. You'll see what I mean.
There's a little wee pink one down here. Is it
Oh, not.
It's a hollow looking then.
It's a hollow pink diamond, which becomes a full pink diamond once you intercept the approach. Once you've intercepted the localizer for the ILS.
Yeah.
There's Kapiti Island just to your left.
And then we're just going above the cloud. Yeah.
Okay, can you set your vert speed to 1800 feet, please? Yep, that's it. Excellent. Okay, we're at 9,000 feet, so you can flick your landing lights on, all four. Okay, set your vert speed to 1500 feet per minute. Okay, Wellington straight ahead. We're just going to try and sneak our way through this cloud. Okay, you're all good?
Yeah, I'm all good.
Excellent. Okay, speed's registered at 250. Okay, we're at 8,600 feet, and if you could turn on your lights, the three lights on the side. Okay, set your vert speed to 1,300 feet now. Terrific. Okay, we're about 29 miles out. Okay, wind speed direction 135 degrees at 21 knots. And set vert speed to 1,000 feet per minute. We're just slowly reducing the rate of descent now.
The wind shear?
Yeah, a bit of wind shear there. Okay, throttles are moving forward, but that's because it's trying to register the speed. Because your wind shear. Now you got 070 degrees and 20 knots of wind. Probably going to be gusting at 50 if you're lucky, so that's what we've set it to. Okay, you're about 26 miles out. Okay, looking good. Set your vert speed to 800 feet per minute now. Yep. Okay, you're at 25 miles, so we're going to have a shot at this ILS approach, so can I get you to transfer your frequencies around? Yep. Excellent, okay, and we've got the ILS system activated. Oops, not my one. There we go. You see the little localizer diamond at the bottom?
Yeah, I can see that.
We've intercepted it. Now, do you want to use that for a minute or two as we cross?
Yeah.
Okay, what we do here, use your VOR lock, press that. That's it. Now the aircraft is automatically going to lock down the flight path to line you up onto the runway. Now we need to slow the plane down, so set your speed to 180. In fact, we can't, well, there's a bit of wind shear there. Okay, make that, yeah, 180. Okay, and if you want to disengage the auto throttles, all you need to do is the two little black switches on the inside, just flick them both in. Yep. Excellent, and let's disengage your throttles. So you're controlling this thing manually now. Alright, what I want you to do is press your approach, and now press this autopilot command button. Excellent, and now the aircraft is locked onto the ILS approach. See how the pink diamonds are on the...
Oh yeah, I see that now.
Okay, I'm just going to use the speed brake to slow you down. And those is going to be playing up a little bit here because I've got
it going up, there we go.
Yeah, there we go. Okay, that's my fault. Okay, 250 knots. So if you want to set your flaps down to 1 degree. Yep, excellent. And give yourself 2 degree flaps. Oh, bit of wind shear there as well. Okay. Also, if you set your altitude down to 2,000 feet, because that's what we're going to... That's the height we need to be at above Narangi Gorge. Okay, give yourself 5 degree flaps. Okay, there's Narangi Gorge straight ahead now. Cool. See a little gully in the hill just over there?
That's it.
Excellent. Okay, come on girl, pick up a bit of... Pick your nose up. Pick your nose up. That's it. Sometimes you got to treat this plane as your girlfriend, so you got to talk it through. Okay, we're at 4,500 feet. So, what do you reckon? Another 500 feet, then you'll disengage.
500 disengage.
Good luck, mate. Okay. Just trying to make sure the throttles are cut right back. 'Cause you've got a lot of speed on you. You've got a high airspeed of 235, so within the yellow range. We've got to try and drop the speed down. Okay, 4,000 feet. Now, to disengage, I recommend you use that little grey switch. Just flick it down and flick it back up. Okay, that's all set now. Transfer the frequencies over to 298. Excellent, that's the idea for Wellington, because we've just passed through to Tay Bay. Slowly lift your nose up now. Just very slowly lift the nose up. That's it, lift the nose up a little bit higher to reduce your speed now. We might be overshooting the glide slope, but we need to bring the speed down a lot more as well. Okay, that's it. Okay, I might use a speed brake here just to bring the speed down to 100 knots. Okay, watch your rudders, you don't use too much rudder on this. Now lift the nose up a bit high here because we're going to be slowing down quite a bit. And can I get you to set your flaps down to 10 degrees? Excellent. Now you want to just turn left that way towards you a little bit. Because you got wind blowing this way, you can see you're actually drifting to the right, away from my house. So turn left a bit more towards you. That's it. Okay, lift the nose up a little bit higher. Okay, what you want to do here is you want to set your landing speed to 133. Okay, looking good. Now the idea with this, the flight, do you want to keep the flight directors on or you want to get rid of them? Get rid of them. Okay, all done. Okay, what I want you to do now is bring your wheels down. So using the trigger, if you need to, just pull it out gently and then just bring it right down. Beautiful. Okay, I'll give you 15 degree now. I'll get you to set yourself 15 degree flaps. Grab the and 15. Okay, flaps are set. I'll give you 25 degree flaps. If you put your right hand on top of the throttles, I'll take care of your flaps and your speed. Okay, you're at 170 knots, giving your flaps 30 degrees.
Wind shear.
Bit of wind shear there. Now start adding some power so your plane doesn't sink. Add a bit more power. Add a bit more thrust. That's it, about there. And I'll give you 40 degree flaps. Okay, your flaps are set. Altitude, height is set. Then confirm. Now, there's your runway. What do you notice funny about this approach? Are you coming in a bit of an angle or are you coming straight in? Alright, what you want to do here is, because you've got wind blowing this way, you want to kind of have your nose that sort of towards you, towards Miramar. So bring the plane around towards you now. Okay, altitude is set to 500 and that's it. You just want to have the nose just on your side. Just have the runway a little bit have your runway just slightly to the right. So yeah, bring her around to the left a bit more. She's going to slide out a bit. Relax the controls there. Lift the nose up just a little bit higher. Excellent. Just tiny inputs of rudder does the trick. That's it. You're doing really well, mate. Add a tiny bit more thrust. That's it. Okay, we're just going to make sure those throws are roughly aligned. You don't find yourself yawing all over the place. Okay, you got full control. Okay, slowly turn the plane right towards me now to open yourself up. That's it. That's it. I'm on to your speed. You're at 134. Turn right a bit more towards me. Turn right a bit more. Turn right a bit more. That's it. Turn right a bit more. Excellent. You're going to slide out a bit, so we'll use a tiny bit of rudder here. That's it. That's it. Now level out the wing. So turn left towards you to level out. Give it a turn left. Beautiful. Nicely done. Relax the controls. A little bit more, actually a bit more to the left. Watch so you don't lift up too high. Lower the nose slightly. Lower your nose slightly. That's it. Not too much. Hold it there. Hold it there. Take a tiny bit of power off. Okay, turn left a bit towards you. Turn left a little bit towards you. Lift the nose up a little bit more. Use the left bit, little bit of left rudder. Okay, that's it. Lift the nose up a bit high. More left rudder, and take the power off now. Power right off. Okay, and just let it glide on, sink onto the runway. Don't push too much forward. Just pull back a little bit. Okay, not bad at all, mate. Excellent. Use the right rudder. Yeah, there we go. Doggy style. Alright, 60 knots. Push the two reverse thrusters back down. That's a crosswind for you. Ah. Pretty intense stuff, mate. That's about 10 knots of wind, mate. Stay there, I'll show you what you look like. 1,000. You won't do this on the TV recording. Actually, I'll zoom out a little bit. So you can actually see it. Yeah, there you go. Actually find yourself coming in pretty high, but as soon as you pass out Victoria, what you know that it's not the car that you have to do with the nose, the nose of the aircraft. As soon as you, when you got you want to shout, when you got coffee, you've got to watch out for that. They can pull you. It was a nice landing. You're on the ground, which is amazing. Basically, when you come in, use your aids, or use your rudders, puts the right. Now, usually you maximise that input as soon as you get closer to the runway, and you're holding it. You're just like this, and then keep the plane on the stable approach. If you do find yourself like this, you use your right rudder, maximum right rudder, just fuel yourself onto the runway. This is the hardest part. As soon as you get 100, that high there, that's when it starts getting heavy. That's when you're going to really make serious judgments. Nicely flared up, wheels sit nice and gently. See if it's got too high, your plane's going to lift up again. Pretty damn good, mate. Cross me down. Yeah, you see. Left land, you're actually sitting on the ground. Up again, so. Oh, I've seen that on and more gentle and more. Oh, true. Website, YouTube and stuff?
Nah, our photo experience was
oh, right.
A good morning one with that Sarah Brady.
Those guys don't know how to fly.
She got in and it was like, douche, bounce off and I was like, whoa.
Then they say, that's a good thing this thing, it's not real. Guess what? Make it real if you want. What we'll do is we'll quickly park at the gate. Okay, I want you to use your left rudder, push the left rudder forward, and we'll take this taxiway coming up here. Okay, use maximum left rudder for this turn. Okay.
We're going right round.
Yep. We're just gonna we're gonna park you up in the gate.
Oh. Well, welcome to Wellington Airport. We hope you enjoyed your flight. This is Captain Wilkie and First Officer Brown.
Just say First Officer Wilkie.
And there's one.
Ask him if there's any more coffee left in the back. Some of us are thirsty. Turn off your landing lights as well. And I'll turn those for you. Turn your transponder back to standby. And just chuck your flaps up. Just grab the lever and just chuck them back up. And just wind your auto brake off. use your right rudder now and just yaw yourself a lot. Remember the gate we parked you last time? Wait on. Yep. Just cutting corners here, just a bit more right rudder. Switch to this 10. Okay, yep, slowly move your way around, just very slowly. That's it, relax the feet. You got the air bridge just to your left, so you want to bring the plane out wide a little bit before you turn into the air bridge. Okay, turn left now, very start a bit more slowly than that, but probably more like this. Yeah, much better. Excellent, okay, we'll just rolling forward a little bit. Okay, ready? Parking brake, yep. The green lights, mate. Nice. And spot on, well done. Okay, let's shut the babies down, so if you want to fuel off the engines. Oops, APU needs to flip the two APUs switch down, so if you that one, just those 2 minutes. And that one. Yeah, excellent. Okay, take us through the shutdown procedure with switches.
Alright, we are now before the air tubes, those are off, and this one,
switch above,
and the chair,
yep.
And now we go to the hydraulics, anti-ice off, probes are off, window heats are off, fasten seatbelts and light smoking's off, the cooling systems are off. Now. Clear's off.
There's 5 more switches.
Your damper's off. The turn off's off.
Runway turn off light, taxi lights off. Off all the time if you're a nut. That's something we're working for. Cool. Let's go work one day though, so if you've got any mates that are interested, just give them to see us that one day. Thanks mate, well done, good job. Excellent. Alright.